Hello everyone, I'm Danielle Johnson, and this is Snapshot Long Beach, the show that takes you behind the scenes to highlight the people, places, and events that make Long Beach such a great place to live, work, and play. Today we turn our attention to the Long Beach arts community. With our award-winning museums and performing arts companies like the Long Beach Opera, who we will meet later on in this show, Long Beach has a lot to offer. So let's get our cameras rolling on our first story, and you'll see for yourself.
October is Arts Month in Long Beach. One of the crowning jewels of this citywide celebration is the annual State of the Arts ceremony.
I don't think there's anywhere, if any type of organization or gathering of folks that really represents the diversity and beauty of the city than when you bring together artists and people that love and support the arts.
The event was hosted by the Arts Council for Long Beach in partnership with the Office of Mayor Robert Garcia. The State of the Arts united city leaders, local residents, and the arts community for a night of appreciation.
So this past year, we celebrated our 40th anniversary, and so we had the Cambodia Town Mural Project. We had a great eye and design program at 2 schools in Long Beach Unified. We did more open conversations than ever and connected residents and artists with civic leaders. So this new fiscal year, we have Percent for Arts, which was voted on by City Council and supported by the Mayor last December. And so we're really excited to see what the future holds for us, what it holds for Long Beach Arts with this new support and funding. And we're working with the City Manager more closely to make it more accessible and really support our arts organizations.
Inside the historic Packard Motors building on Anaheim, the Arts Council recognized local arts excellence by honoring residents who made an impact in the arts and culture of Long Beach.
It's important to recognize the supporters of the arts and our artists because we want Long Beach residents and people to know Long Beach is a destination. We support our artists. We like to not only have our artists create art around the city, we want them to be employed and thrive as artists in the very city that they may live in, they work in, that they play in. It's just adding color to our beautiful streets and our city just creates that environment that we want to live in.
Being honored and acknowledged today, makes me feel very special and proud, especially for the city of Long Beach and for the Arts Council. I kind of feel like they're going through a renaissance right now and almost like just this burst of energy. And it's going hand in hand with the growth of the city and also with the Arts Council, kind of just being so everywhere now.
Arts education, it's infusing all of the arts and giving students an opportunity to experience something they may have never experienced before, to bring their creativity to the surface, to find their soul, whether it be in music, art, dance, literature, whatever they're really, really focusing on, to find their creativity within themselves.
Find out what's happening in the arts community in Long Beach and how you can get involved at artslb.org.
The State of the Arts Awards recognizes working artists and their supporters. But who are these artists and how do you see their work? Well, buckle up because we're going to take you on a Long Beach studio tour.
October is Arts Month in Long Beach, and the welcome mat is out.
Artists are everywhere, and we want to show our work, and we want to meet the people.
That's why more than 40 artists spread across the city brought the community into their creative spaces during the 7th annual Long Beach Open Studio Tour. From pottery to paintings, ceramics and stoneware, and even beautifully crafted mosaics, residents were able to plot a course through dozens of locations, taking intimate, self-guided tours of discovery and even purchasing some of their favorite pieces.
I've always been a huge art fan. I'm just not really good at making art. I'm better at appreciating it. And so I felt like, wow, what an opportunity to go to the artist's house and speak with them and then see what their thinking process was when creating the art. That's what I was really excited to do.
Coming here and opening up my studio is great because a lot of times artists work alone in their studio and don't have that opportunity to share what they're doing or share their space with people in the community. So it really kind of bridges that gap for me.
Sponsored by the Arts Council for Long Beach, which is celebrating its 40th year promoting, advocating for, and funding local artists, this once-a-year event connects our city's artists to one another and builds economic momentum as well.
Artists really, it's a job, it's work. We live here amongst you and work in our studios, our home studios, and for many of my neighbors, for the first time, they learned that I'm actually here doing this work.
So far it's been great. We've had people come in waves and they're very receptive to the work and they like to look around. And we've made a few sales.
Long Beach really is rich in artists and performers and musicians and all the arts. I think it's just about figuring out how to expose them to our residents, and this is one example of doing that.
Cameraman Donald and I had a great time on that tour. We got a really unique and up-close look at the artistic process. But you know, not all art happens in a studio. In fact, if you look around our city, you'll find art everywhere.
Hi, I'm Guillermo. I live in Long Beach and I'm a professional muralist. This is my 46th mural. As any artist, as myself, going big is always better. I've been painting murals professionally for 25 years. You could go to any community center, either in different schools, either in 1st District, 2nd District, 3rd District, 8th District, and you may run into one of my projects. These artworks may be on a electrical box that run the turn signals, but some of them are just either in alleys, some of them are in very visible walls, and some of them are private also, some of them are in very public areas. I started at the age of 14. I was mentored through a program through the City of Long Beach, through the Parks and Recreation Department. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. My key importance in producing artwork is to really work with the young adults. I was just mainly the creative glue of this whole entire project. It was actually the kids who came upon, and we transpired in making changes through all these, through the designs as we painted along. This really gave them an essence that they were needed, but also gave them great richness by knowing that their name's on this wall, and also that they got to take on part of something that's going to be here for a very, very long time. I grew up in the 1st District, 2nd District. By me moving up to North Long Beach and buying my home here, and having the opportunity to also share with the people who I live with, my neighbors, what I do to beautify the area that I transit by, I drive by, I work, kind of makes me understand that it's a great place to live. I've been here for almost 36 years, and this is where I call home.
Guillermo is one of many artists who've left their mark on our city. Now, let's expand our field of view in our next story, which takes a look at the annual Powwow Long Beach Festival.
This year's 3rd Powwow Long Beach Art Festival brought together another eclectic team of artists from all over the world, including numerous Long Beach-based muralists, to once again share their vision in art with our city. The new 19 murals located throughout the city are now part of the 52 murals that now call Long Beach home.
I feel honored. I feel like being able to paint this mural has been like a really big stepping stone for me, and to be here, be new to the community, it feels like almost like my own type of welcoming to Long Beach.
mural projects like this fit more into like a pedestrian, community-orientated type of city versus a city where you're driving around in cars. It's cool because there's like people walking around actually interacting and walking up and looking at these murals as opposed to, you know, driving by them at 50 miles an hour.
With the social media, many people is like sharing your things in Instagram and Facebook, and that's nice when you see the people like it and you are far from there. That's a very nice thing.
Public art is helping make Long Beach one of the most diverse and exciting cities in the United States. Powwow Long Beach is just one of many art events that take place every year. To get a list of all the events, visit artslb.org.
The Arts Council for Long Beach is an important resource here in our community. Recently, they partnered up with the city to host an event here at Harvey Milk Park, and this event really highlighted the diversity of our city. Take a look.
Open spaces encourage collaboration and connectivity. Recently, the City of Long Beach Innovation Team, working with Work Evolution and the First Council District, put that idea to the test by transforming Harvey Milk Park into an open-air gallery and performance space.
This is a closing of an 18-month-long process of experimenting with different programming at Harvey Milk Park. This is the first time the City of Long Beach really explores of what does it mean to co-create a public space. So through the Knight Foundation grant, we're able to put on original programming like this one, the Queer Art Pop-Up.
Pop-up organizers invited local artists to submit works that explored the term queer in a variety of mediums that showcase the queer experience, identity, and perspective.
For me, it's being able to access my creativity, being able to think outside of the box, so to speak, having the potential for new ways of thinking and being in my body. It also encompasses my sexual orientation and my gender fluidity.
Here in Long Beach, we're very special. We have the Harvey Milk Plaza Park, and as a queer artist, I find that activism and art is very much interconnected, and Harvey Milk is one of my queer leaders. He did wonderful work, and we continue his legacy by providing the space for queer art, and as a pop-up, we're activating the space.
Following the exhibit and performances, the Arts Council for Long Beach hosted an open conversation where artists and art advocates talked about art economies, professional development, economic innovations, and their own experiences.
Well, I think that's a challenge for all artists, is trying to support themselves through their art, and that's a dream of all artists, is to be able to support themselves through their art. In Long Beach, I would say even more so than LA, I've been able to float myself with some of the artistic endeavors that I've been undertaking, and I'm really appreciative of Long Beach, because they've been able to compensate me when I play, for the most part.
The Harvey Milk Park Project outdoor collaborative concept is part of the city's broader economic development and I-Team efforts to connect people and institutions through more open, diverse, and inclusive public spaces for people to gather.
What makes Harvey Milk Park really interesting is that it's a park with a purpose, right? So this programming really cultivates the spirit of the park and really speaks to the legacy of Harvey Milk.
To learn more about the Harvey Milk Park project and full details on the art pop-up, visit innovatelb.com/showcase.
There is a magic involved with live performing arts. Something unexpected happens. To explore that theme a little more, we visited the Long Beach Opera, and I want to invite you along to come learn more about this city jewel. Let's go. We are here at Long Beach Opera, and I'm here with Jenny Rivera. You're in the development department. And we're going to ask some questions and find out more about what happens here at the Long Beach Opera. This organization was founded in 1979. Tell me a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, we're actually the oldest opera producing organization in Los Angeles County, and in this part of Southern California. We're older than LA Opera. A lot of people don't know that. And the history of Long Beach Opera, we've done a lot of different things. We've done some standard repertoire, but as of the recent past, including the time that our current artistic and general director, Andreas Midasek, has been here, we've become known for doing more unusual repertoire. Our focus now is we do either contemporary operas, things have been written in the last 50 years, or especially in the last couple of years, or we also tend to take some repertoire from the operatic canon that is not done very often. We perform it. So we do, repertoire that spans from the 1600s until now. We pick them up and give them interesting, relevant, modern productions, things people can relate to, subject matters that people can relate to, and we bring it to as many people as we can.
Well, that's interesting that you say that. I think when most people think of opera, they think of something very stuffy. I have to get dressed up. Is that the case? Who is the audience? Who's your audience?
That's one of my favorite questions. I get it a lot about opera in general. I would say that overall, that's really a misconception based on what people have seen in the media, based on Bugs Bunny, based on a lot of different things. Opera is not a stuffy art form. I mean, the origins of opera, it really was like a way for people to perform for the common person. And the point of opera is it just tells stories through music. That's all that it is. We did an opera 2 seasons ago about an Iraqi war vet with PTSD, and we did another opera about Frida Kahlo. We do operas about things that people can relate to, and the feeling when you go to an opera is not one of uptight, stuffy, you have to dress up, you can come as you are and just come and experience the music and the art and the storytelling, and that's what we want you to do.
So if I am getting tickets, I don't have to come in a ball gown or a tuxedo.
I would not recommend it.
Okay, all right. I asked you earlier who your audience was. Long Beach Opera does a lot of educational outreach with elementary schools, high schools, and even some of the colleges. What are some of the programs that you have available?
Yeah, Long Beach Opera is really proud of the fact that we're the only Long Beach arts organization that is an LAUSD arts community partner. And what that means is that we perform in elementary schools throughout Los Angeles County. One of our current programs is called The Playground King, and it's an opera that has standard famous kind of arias sung by professional singers, but it's put into a new story that has an anti-bullying message, and it's actually performed on the playground of the school itself. So the kids are seeing their own playground transformed into like an opera set.
Right, and this is something that they enjoy? Are they into the performance?
Oh yeah, they love it. It's, I mean, it's funny, kids don't always have that perception that adults have, that opera has these certain stereotypes. They kind of are just open to, whatever. And it really is, it can be a transformational experience for a young person to experience live singing like that. Opera singing is opera voices are very powerful. They can amplify to thousands of people. And, they're hearing a story, getting a chance to hear these singers. And, as we know, the arts in schools are not well funded at the moment. So it's up to the arts organizations to really take the mantle and bring live performance to students. And that's what we do. We really enjoy. We had some really good feedback from the kids and from the principals and the teachers about their first experience with opera.
What does it take to put on a performance from beginning to end? What's involved?
It's a really good question. The first thing you have to know is that opera singers train for many years. They train for as many years as a physician to get their skills, because there's a lot of skills involved in singing opera. You have to have the complete capacity of the human voice, the full range, the ability to sing loud, soft, fast, slow, all of those things, to sing in many languages, to act while you're singing. It's a very comprehensive thing. So that's before we even get to the point where we start putting the opera together. And then, many months to years before the planning starts, and then about a month before the first performance, everyone comes together. They start putting all the pieces together, getting the staging ready. The singers meet the conductor and the director. They work together on how they're going to put this particular piece up. Then a week before, they move into the theater or the space, and everyone is involved, the technical people, the lighting people, and everything comes together. I always like to talk about how opera is an intersectional art form, in that it brings together music, the singing, and the orchestra. It brings together the drama and the storytelling, the sets, the lighting, the visual element, and all of those things come together to create a real experience for the audience that is different than anything that they would have experienced elsewhere.
Long Beach Opera has been working on that process for this upcoming season. What can we expect?
Well, we finished our fall opera. In the fall we did an opera. It was the first of our season called The Consul, which was about refugees. So the very next opera we're producing is really cool, interesting, unusual, something you would not see were it not for Long Beach Opera, and I can say that's true because we actually were the co-commissioners of the project. Stuart Copeland, who is the drummer and one of the founders of the band The Police, in recent years has become a respected film and opera composer. And he wrote this opera that we commissioned called The Invention of Morel, and it's like a sci-fi tale about a man who is stranded on an island and wants to find the love of his life. It's really interesting, highly percussive score related to his abilities on the drums. And it's coming up in March, and that's performance is at the Beverly O'Neill Theater in Long Beach. After that, we're doing an opera in May called The Love Potion, which is about the tale of Tristan and Isolde, but it's from a contemporary perspective, from a contemporary composer named Frank Martin. And that's the ones that we have left for this season.
Right. If someone is interested in seeing some of these performances, where do you perform? Do you have a home base?
No, we perform wherever we find the place that fits the opera. So some operas are big and they need to be performed in a big theater, and some operas need to be performed in a swimming pool or the sculpture garden or in a parking garage or on a playground. So we find whatever the place is that's right for the opera, and that's where we perform
and
it.
You bring everyone comes out to do this performance. All right, well, this has been, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm hoping that people who are watching this have also learned a little bit about Long Beach Opera. If they want to find out more, where can they go?
Our website, www.longbeachopera.org. They can call us 562-470-SING is our phone number. Nice. And, you know, we hope people will come out and see the opera and not be afraid, because it's cool. It's not what you think.
Jenny, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Danielle Johnson, and this has been Snapshot Long Beach, the show that goes behind the scenes to show you the people, places, and events that make us all so proud to call Long Beach our home. I'll see you next time with more Snapshot.